Hi, I am Kimberlee Box. I am doing my presentation on Malala, Right About Women's Rights. Here are a few statistics from the Press United to Serve Humanity, a non-governmental and non-sectarian consortium of journalists working for freedom of press and protection of human rights. Here is a little bit of information about Islamic rights and women's rights. Throughout this presentation, I am going to share some quotes that really stood out to me during my research for this project. And first being, Malala said, education is education. We should learn everything, then choose which path to follow. It is not Western, it is not Eastern, it is just human. She is a Pakistani activist who spoke out publicly against the prohibition on the education of girls that was imposed by the TTP, or the Tehrik-e-Taliban of Pakistan. She gained global attention when she survived an assassination on her life, which was attempted. It was not a full assassination because she's still alive, sorry. That it was an attempt assassination on her life at the age of 15. She became the youngest to win the Nobel Prize in recognition on efforts on behalf of children's rights. Her dad encouraged her to follow in his path. The TTP began imposing strict Islamic law, destroying or shutting down girls' schools, banning women from any active role in society. At the age of 11, she watched these things happen, and she was approached to write entries for a blog published by British Broadcasting Corporation, or the BBC. In the book, she also said that when it suits the Taliban, women can be vocal and visible. The head of a madrasa named Umi Hassan, wife of Abdul Aziz, was one of the mosques in Islamabad, boasted she had trained many of the girls that went through her mosque, or her madrasa, the school through the mosque. She boasted that she had trained many of the girls to become suicide bombers, and that was okay by them. During the day, she and her friends did feel safe at school, and so did her father. But at night, he said, "Our fear is strong, but in the morning, in the light, we find our courage again." She also said in the book that if you want to resolve a dispute or come out from conflict, the very first thing is to speak the truth. That the truth will abolish fear. We should not fear education. We should not fear being able to give women the right, and young women the right, to have an education. We should let them decide which path that they're going to take, and I think Malala was correct in fighting for the women's right to have an education, because then it gives them the power to become what they want to be, rather than having that control, having somebody have that control over them and decide for them what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and how they're going to do it. I have really enjoyed learning about Malala, and the fact that she was so young and stood up for rights and was empowered by her own family, including her father, to stand up for what she believed to be the truth and what she believed to be right, and that her parents stood behind her 100%. So we should all be like Malala and not be like in this quote right here, "I am stronger than fear." I say these things that people will hear me and understand and see where I am coming from. That it is not wrong to have a lady be educated, because then it gives her choices and she can decide what she's going to do with that. But I'm going to leave this with you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.